March 8, 1942, Djokjakarta Airfield, Java. B-17E Flying Fortress 41-2471 of the 7th Bomb Group slides to a burning halt in the tropical mud, her crew scrambling through smoke and fire. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Strother watches his bomber die on foreign soil, knowing the crew's survival matters more than the machine. But what Strother cannot know, as he leads his men into captivity, is that his abandoned fortress will become Japan's most valuable war prize. The Boeing B-17E represents the pinnacle of American strategic bombing technology in early 1942. For Wright R-1820-65 Cyclone engines generate 1,200 horsepower each, driving the 103-foot wingspan aircraft to altitudes where enemy fighters struggle to reach. The pressurized crew compartments, advanced Sperry turret systems, and most critically, the top-secret Norden bombsight worth $8,800 per unit, make each flying fortress a technological treasure trove. For Japan's Koku Gijutsu Kenkyujo, the Army Aviation Technical Research Institute, an intact B-17E represents an intelligence windfall beyond calculation. Within hours of the Allied evacuation from Singasari Airfield, Japanese technical teams swarm the wreckage at Djokjakarta. Major Eiji Yamamoto of the Koku Gijutsu Kenkyujo directs salvage operations with the precision of a surgeon. His engineers photograph every component, catalog every system, and most importantly, locate the aircraft's Norden bombsight intact in the nose section. The device, shrouded in wartime secrecy, represents America's most closely guarded aviation technology. The salvage team discovers that B-17E 41-2471 crashed with minimal structural damage to her critical systems. The nose section, though blackened by fire, contains the complete Norden M-series bombsight with its gyroscopic stabilization platform and mechanical analog computer. The turbo-supercharged Wright Cyclone engines, revolutionary in their high-altitude performance, lie scattered but recoverable. Even the aircraft's advanced fire control systems, including the Sperry ball turret's remote-controlled 50-caliber machine guns, remain largely intact. At Madeoan Field, 30 miles southeast, Japanese engineers make an even more startling discovery. 15 additional B-17E wrecks lie abandoned across the airfield, casualties of the chaotic Allied retreat. Aviation editor Tereo Saito of Asahi Press tours the captured facilities and counts 4 B-17Es being prepared for flight evaluation. The maintenance infrastructure at Bandung Field proves exceptional, with complete spare parts inventories and technical manuals left behind by retreating American ground crews. Japanese engineers face a complex challenge reconstructing the B-17Es. The aircraft's sophisticated systems, including the turbo-supercharger intercooling, pressurized crew compartments, and integrated autopilot bombsight linkage, exceed anything in Japanese service. Mitsubishi engineer Hisanojo Ozawa, designer of the Ki-21 and Ki-67 bombers, publishes initial assessments in Koku Asahi Aviation magazine. His May 1942 article dismisses the B-17E as modifications to an obsolete 1935 design, but privately acknowledges the aircraft's technological superiority. Captured Dutch mechanics, pressed into service under armed guard, provide crucial expertise for the reconstruction effort. The Dutch engineers, veterans of the East Indies' sophisticated aircraft maintenance operations, guide Japanese technicians through the B-17's complex systems. Working 18-hour shifts in Java's oppressive heat, the mixed teams slowly bring 2 B-17Es back to flying condition by late 1942. The rebuilt fortresses undergo extensive ground testing before their historic flight to Japan. Japanese engineers install additional fuel tanks to ensure adequate range for the 2,000-mile journey via Singapore. The complex flight plan requires coordination with every air defense unit along the route to prevent the B-17s from being shot down by their own forces. A squadron of Nakajima Ki-43 fighters provides escort, while a captured Douglas DC-3, designated L-2D in Japanese service, acts as a navigation and communication aircraft. The flight to Japan in May 1943 became a carefully orchestrated intelligence operation. Japanese air traffic controllers alert every radar station and anti-aircraft battery along the route. The distinctive four-engine silhouette of the B-17s, approaching at 20,000 feet altitude, triggers multiple false alarms as inexperienced Japanese spotters mistake them for American bomber formations. Only the persistent radio communications from the escort fighters prevent a catastrophic friendly fire incident. Tachikawa Airfield, home base of Japan's Army Aviation Technical Research Institute, receives the two B-17Es with extraordinary security measures. Major Kazuyuki Saito, the Imperial Japanese Army Air Force's leading aeronautical engineer, personally supervises the aircraft's arrival. His evaluation team includes Lieutenant Shioyama, Second Lieutenants Kurusu and O'Hara, and Army Assistant Engineer Shimamura. Major Uno and Captain Yagi, experienced test pilots with over 3,000 flight hours each, begin immediate familiarization flights. The Japanese evaluation program encompasses every aspect of B-17 operations. Test flights from Tachikawa reveal the aircraft's exceptional high-altitude performance, with service ceilings exceeding 35,000 feet when carrying reduced bomb loads. The Wright R-1820-65 Cyclone engines, equipped with General Electric turbo superchargers, maintain power output at altitudes where Japanese fighters lose effectiveness. This capability gives the B-17 a crucial tactical advantage over the Japanese homeland's fighter defenses. Major Sato's team conducts exhaustive analysis of the Norden bombsight's capabilities. The device's gyroscopic stabilization platform, mechanical analog computer, and integration with the aircraft's autopilot system represent technology years ahead of Japanese developments. The Norden's ability to maintain accuracy despite aircraft movement, wind drift, and altitude changes proves revolutionary. During test drops over Hamamatsu bombing range, the captured B-17s achieve circular error probable measurements of under 100 feet from 20,000 feet altitude. The Norden bombsight reveals its secrets slowly to Japanese engineers. The device combines three primary functions: target acquisition through telescopic sights, automatic computation of bomb release point based on aircraft speed and altitude, and direct control of the aircraft's flight path during the final bombing approach. The integration with the B-17 Sperry A5 autopilot allows the bombardier to fly the aircraft with precision impossible through manual control. Japanese technicians struggle to replicate the Norden's sophisticated manufacturing. The bombsight requires precision machining tolerances and materials unavailable in wartime Japan. The gyroscopes demand bearing surfaces accurate to thousandths of an inch, while the mechanical computer's gear trains require metallurgy beyond Japanese capabilities. Even with complete technical drawings and operating manuals, mass production proves impossible. The B-17's turbo supercharger system presents similar challenges. The General Electric Type B2 turbo supercharger, mounted on each Wright Cyclone engine, uses exhaust gases to drive a centrifugal compressor that maintains manifold pressure at high altitude. Japanese engineers understand the principles but lack the high-temperature alloys necessary for the turbine wheels. Attempts to develop similar systems for the Tachikawa Ki-74 and Mitsubishi Ki-83 fail due to metallurgical limitations. Fire control technology from the captured B-17s influences Japanese aircraft development more successfully. The remote-controlled gun turrets, particularly the Sperry ball turret with its 250 caliber machine guns, demonstrate principles applicable to Japanese designs. The automatic computing gun sight, which calculates lead angles for fighter attacks, provides the foundation for similar systems on Japanese interceptors. Beyond technical evaluation, the captured B-17s serve crucial propaganda purposes. Japanese film studios use the aircraft, repainted with authentic American markings, in training films and public documentaries. One notable production shows Nakajima Ki-43 fighters demonstrating attack tactics against the American bomber. These films, distributed to Japanese theaters nationwide, portray the Flying Fortress as vulnerable to determined fighter assault. The B-17D, captured earlier at Clark Field and transferred to Japan in 1942, appears most frequently in these propaganda productions. Sometimes escorted by a captured Curtiss P-40 Warhawk, also wearing American insignia, the aircraft participates in elaborate staged dogfights over Japanese airfields. These demonstrations serve dual purposes: training Japanese pilots in B-17 attack techniques and maintaining public morale through displays of captured enemy equipment. In late 1943, all three captured B-17s relocated to Fusa Airfield, adjacent to Tachikawa, for expanded testing operations. The facility, later renamed Yokoto Air Base by occupying American forces, provides longer runways and enhanced security for the sensitive program. 2 of the B-17s visit Hamamatsu, Japan's primary heavy bomber base, for comparative evaluation against Japanese aircraft including the Mitsubishi Ki-67 Hiryu and Nakajima Ki-49 Donryu. The Hamamatsu evaluations reveal the B-17's overwhelming technological superiority. The American bomber's service ceiling exceeds Japanese heavy bombers by over 10,000 feet, while its defensive armament proves far more effective than anything in Japanese service. The 1050 caliber machine guns, distributed in power-operated turrets throughout the aircraft, create overlapping fields of fire that Japanese bombers cannot match. Captain Yagi's test flights from Hamamatsu demonstrate the B-17's remarkable survivability. During simulated combat scenarios, the aircraft absorbs extensive machine gun and cannon damage while maintaining flight capability. The self-sealing fuel tanks, armor protection for critical crew positions, and redundant control systems allow the B-17 to survive damage that would destroy Japanese bombers. These characteristics, combined with the aircraft's operational altitude advantage, explain the Flying Fortress's reputation for bringing crews home. Early 1944 brings disaster to the Japanese B-17 program. During a routine evaluation flight from Fusa Airfield, one of the captured B-17Es encounters a sudden crosswind during takeoff. The pilot, Major Uno, has insufficient airspeed for effective rudder control as the aircraft begins its takeoff roll. The crosswind catches the bomber's massive vertical stabilizer, pushing the nose sharply to starboard. Major Uno fights to maintain directional control as the B-17E deviates from the runway centerline. The aircraft's right wing, spanning over 50 feet from fuselage to tip, strikes a parked Nakajima Ki-49 Donryu heavy bomber positioned near the flight line. The collision tears through the Ki-49's fuselage while inflicting catastrophic damage to the B-17's wing structure and engine mounts. Both aircraft suffer total destruction, eliminating 1/3 of Japan's captured B-17 fleet. The accident investigation reveals fundamental differences between American and Japanese aircraft handling characteristics. The B-17's tricycle landing gear configuration, with the main wheels positioned aft of the center of gravity, creates stability challenges during ground operations. Japanese pilots, trained on conventional tail-wheel aircraft, struggle with the Flying Fortress's ground handling requirements. This single accident eliminates months of evaluation data and reduces Japan's B-17 fleet from 3 aircraft to 2. By May 1945, as American B-29 Superfortresses devastate Japanese industry, the surviving B-17s represent technological curiosities rather than military assets. Allied photo reconnaissance flights over Tachikawa Airfield capture images of what American intelligence analysts designate Tachikawa Field 104, referring to the aircraft's estimated 104-foot wingspan. The mystery bomber generates considerable speculation among Allied intelligence officers. American analysts measure the aircraft's dimensions from aerial photography and conclude that Japan has developed a new 4-engine bomber or transport. The timing seems impossible, given the systematic destruction of Japanese aircraft factories by B-29 raids, but the evidence appears undeniable. Detailed measurements confirm a wingspan of approximately 104 feet, matching the B-17's actual 103 feet 9 inches exactly. Intelligence reports circulate through Pacific Fleet headquarters describing Japan's apparent development of a new strategic bomber. The implications disturb Allied planners who assumed Japanese aviation technology had peaked years earlier. If Japan possesses the industrial capability to produce new 4-engine aircraft during the war's final months, the invasion of the Japanese home islands may prove even more costly than anticipated. The truth remains hidden until after Japan's surrender. American occupation forces discovering records of the Japanese B-17 evaluation program realized that their own aircraft had fooled Allied intelligence for months. The new Japanese bomber photographed at Tachikawa was actually B-17E Flying Fortress 2471, rebuilt from the wreckage at Djokjakarta Airfield 3 years earlier. Post-war investigation reveals the ultimate fate of Japan's captured B-17 fleet. One aircraft, possibly the survivor from the Fusa accident, appears in reconnaissance photographs of Arumagawa Airfield, positioned near buildings housing students from Japan's Air Force Academy. The aircraft serves as an instructional airframe for teaching Japanese officer candidates about American bomber technology and tactics. A second B-17 appears in reconnaissance photographs of Tachikawa during the war's final weeks, then mysteriously disappears 9 days later during subsequent surveillance flights. American investigators theorized that the aircraft was destroyed or disassembled to prevent capture of sensitive modifications made during Japanese evaluation. The rapid disappearance suggests deliberate action rather than combat damage or accident. The third captured bomber's location never receives confirmation, though intelligence reports suggest possible destruction during a hangar fire at Tokarazawa Airfield. The facility housed Japan's collection of captured Allied aircraft, including German Junkers Ju-87 Stukas and various Allied types intended for a projected aviation museum. If the missing B-17 was stored at Tokarazawa, the fire would explain its complete disappearance from Japanese records. Strategic bombing survey teams, arriving with American occupation forces, find no trace of the captured B-17s despite extensive searches of Japanese airfields. The aircraft, their technical secrets, and their evaluation results have vanished as thoroughly as if they never existed. Only scattered documentary evidence and photographs confirm that Japan operated American flying fortresses for nearly 3 years. The Japanese B-17 program's technological legacy proves more significant than the aircraft themselves. Turbo-supercharger development, initiated from study of captured Wright R-1820 engines, influences late-war Japanese aircraft including the Nakajima Ki-87 high-altitude interceptor and Mitsubishi Ki-83 reconnaissance aircraft. Though neither aircraft achieves production status, the technical knowledge gained from B-17 evaluation drives Japanese high-altitude aviation development. Fire control systems derived from captured B-17 technology appear in several Japanese aircraft designs. The automatic computing gun sight, adapted from Sperry systems, improves interception accuracy for Japanese fighters engaging high-altitude B-29 formations. The technology, though arriving too late to significantly impact the war's outcome, demonstrates the captured B-17's continuing influence on Japanese aviation. Advanced metallurgy requirements revealed by Norden bombsight and turbo-supercharger examination expose critical weaknesses in Japanese industrial capability. The precision machining tolerances, specialized alloys, and manufacturing techniques required for these systems exceed Japan's wartime production capacity. This technological gap, hidden by early war successes, becomes apparent through detailed examination of captured American equipment. The intelligence value of Japan's captured B-17s extends beyond their technical specifications. Understanding American strategic bombing doctrine, crew training procedures, and operational limitations provides Japanese air defense forces with crucial tactical knowledge. Fighter attack techniques, developed through evaluation flights against the captured aircraft, improve Japanese interception success rates against later B-29 formations. Major Kazuyuki Sato's evaluation reports, distributed throughout Japanese air defense commands, detail the B-17's vulnerabilities to specific attack methods. Head-on attacks, targeting the aircraft's lightly defended nose section, prove most effective against the bomber's defensive armament. These tactics, refined through hundreds of test flights against captured aircraft, save Japanese fighter pilot lives during actual combat engagements. The Norden bombsight's operational principles, revealed through extensive Japanese study, influence air defense tactics throughout the Pacific theater. Understanding the device's reliance on stable flight conditions during final bombing approaches allows Japanese fighters to disrupt American bombing accuracy through aggressive attacks during critical phases. This knowledge proves especially valuable during defense of strategic targets like aircraft factories and naval bases. Japan's evaluation of captured B-17 communication and navigation equipment reveals American coordination procedures for large bomber formations. Radio frequencies, call sign protocols, and formation flying techniques provide intelligence officers with detailed understanding of American strategic bombing operations. This information enables more effective interception planning and improves Japanese early warning systems. The captured B-17s also expose American crew training standards and operational procedures. Personal equipment, flight manuals, and technical documentation recovered from the aircraft reveal the extensive preparation required for strategic bombing missions. Japanese intelligence officers analyze American crew specialization, noting the distinct responsibilities of pilot, co-pilot, navigator, bombardier, and gunners. Medical supplies and survival equipment aboard the captured aircraft provide insights into American aircrew support systems. The sophisticated first aid kits, emergency rations, and survival gear demonstrate American commitment to crew welfare that exceeds Japanese standards. This disparity in crew support systems reflects broader differences in industrial capacity and strategic priorities between the two nations. Personal letters and photographs recovered from the captured B-17s offer propaganda opportunities for Japanese psychological warfare specialists. Documents revealing American bomber crews' fears, family concerns, and morale issues receive wide distribution through Japanese controlled radio broadcasts targeting Allied personnel. These materials, though of limited strategic value, supplement Japan's broader information warfare efforts. As 1945 progresses and American bombing intensifies, the captured B-17s become symbols of Japan's declining technological position. The aircraft, once representing cutting-edge American technology worthy of extensive study, now appear primitive compared to the B-29 superfortresses devastating Japanese cities. The technological gap between captured 1942-era equipment and current American production demonstrates the accelerating pace of wartime development. The final months of the B-17 evaluation program coincide with Japan's desperate search for miracle weapons to reverse the war's trajectory. Engineers examine every component of the captured aircraft seeking technologies applicable to Japanese superweapon programs. The turbo-supercharger technology influences high-altitude interceptor designs intended to counter B-29 formations, while fire control systems inspire guided missile development projects. Intelligence gathered from the captured B-17s contributes to Japanese assessment of American industrial capabilities. The sophisticated manufacturing evident in every component, from precision-machined engine parts to complex electrical systems, reveals production capacity far exceeding Japanese estimates. This industrial intelligence proves as valuable as the aircraft's technical specifications for strategic planning purposes. The B-17 evaluation program also exposes Japanese intelligence limitations in assessing American technological development. The captured aircraft, representing early war American production, fails to reveal the massive advances in radar, electronics, and propulsion systems occurring throughout the conflict. Japanese engineers, analyzing 1942-era technology in 1945, remain unaware of revolutionary developments in American aviation. Throughout the evaluation period, Japanese engineers struggle with cultural and technical barriers to understanding American design philosophy. The B-17's emphasis on crew survivability, defensive armament, and operational flexibility conflicts with Japanese aviation doctrine prioritizing offensive capability and pilot sacrifice. These philosophical differences, reflected in aircraft design, highlight broader contrasts between American and Japanese military cultures. The captured Norden bombsights undergo exhaustive testing to determine their accuracy limitations under combat conditions. Japanese engineers discover that the device's theoretical precision requires ideal weather, steady flight conditions, and extensive crew training to achieve. The gap between laboratory performance and combat effectiveness provides valuable insights into American strategic bombing capabilities and limitations. Technical drawings produced during Japanese evaluation of the captured B-17s document every system in extraordinary detail. These blueprints, combining American design specifications with Japanese analysis, create comprehensive technical intelligence archives. The drawings survive the war's end and provide post-war aviation historians with unique perspectives on wartime technology transfer between adversaries. Photography from the Japanese B-17 program documents not only the aircraft themselves but also the evaluation procedures and personnel involved. These images, discovered in American archives decades later, reveal the sophisticated nature of Japanese technical intelligence operations. The systematic approach to documenting captured equipment demonstrates professional competence that Allied intelligence initially underestimated. The Japanese B-17 evaluation team's final reports, completed as American forces approached the Japanese home islands, acknowledged the program's limited success in closing the technological gap. Despite 3 years of intensive study, Japanese aviation technology remains generations behind American developments. The captured aircraft, initially representing potential military advantage, ultimately demonstrate Japan's industrial and technological inferiority. As American occupation forces assume control of Japanese airfields in September 1945, the captured B-17s vanish from official records. Whether destroyed deliberately to prevent recapture, scrapped for materials, or hidden in remote locations, the aircraft disappear completely. Their fate remains one of the Pacific War's minor mysteries, representing the broader destruction of Japanese military capabilities during the conflict's final phase. The legacy of Japan's captured B-17 fleet extends beyond their immediate wartime impact. Post-war Japanese aviation development incorporates lessons learned from studying American technology, contributing to the eventual emergence of Japan as a major aerospace manufacturer. The technical knowledge gained through examination of captured equipment provides foundations for Japan's post-war industrial recovery and technological advancement. Intelligence techniques developed during the B-17 evaluation program influenced the Japanese approach to captured technology throughout the war. The systematic documentation, technical analysis, and operational testing procedures established at Tachikawa become standard practice for evaluating captured Allied equipment. These methods, refined through experience with American aircraft, improve Japanese intelligence gathering capabilities. The captured B-17s also demonstrate the importance of technological security in modern warfare. American failure to completely destroy sensitive equipment during the chaotic retreat from Java provides Japan with invaluable intelligence advantages. The incident highlights the critical importance of denying enemy access to advanced technology, especially equipment incorporating classified systems like the Norden bombsight. For American intelligence officers investigating the program after Japan's surrender, the captured B-17s represent both tactical failure and strategic success. While the loss of sensitive technology provides Japan with temporary advantages, the ultimate failure of Japanese engineers to replicate American capabilities demonstrates overwhelming Allied technological superiority. The story of Japan's captured B-17 fleet reveals the complex relationship between technology, intelligence, and military capability during World War II. 3 abandoned aircraft, rebuilt through determination and ingenuity, provide Japan with unprecedented access to American strategic bombing technology. Yet despite years of intensive study, the captured fortresses cannot close the technological gap that ultimately ensures Japan's defeat. The Boeing B-17E Flying Fortress 41-2471, destroyed in the Java mud on March 8, 1942, achieves a remarkable resurrection through Japanese engineering skill. For 3 years, the aircraft serves as a technological bridge between adversaries, revealing American secrets while exposing Japanese limitations. Its final disappearance in the war's closing days symbolizes the broader destruction of Japanese military power and the emergence of American technological dominance that defines the post-war era. In the end, Japan's captured flying fortresses represent both the potential and limitations of technological intelligence in modern warfare. The aircraft provide invaluable insights into American capabilities while demonstrating the industrial and technical barriers preventing Japan from achieving parity with Allied forces. Their story, hidden for decades in classified archives, illustrates the complex interplay of technology, intelligence, and national power that shapes the outcome of total war.